And I even have my air horn here when you're ready because I got a sound effect board recently and I like it a lot. Riots. God does it. Damon told me so. Like that. I know that one. And
Radical Jesus. Ooh. That's hard.
You mean to turn it even louder, Damon?
No, that's good.
Okay. All righty. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. We'll put on your smile face. I'm going to hit record. No,
let's record then.
I know, but I don't want to hit record till you're ready. I see you just clicking away.
I know. I'm sorry.
Always be selling. That's what the God Who Riots says.
I stream on Twitch, so I'm used to like having all kinds of things going on at the same time, and posting while I'm streaming. But
look, I'm an elder millennial.
Let me I need to be present.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna give you a thought. That's right, ladies, gentlemen, and all our non-binary friends. This is our centering moment because it is time to party. What kind of party is it? It's a kind of party that gets out of hand. It turns into a riot. Why? Not because we hate JC and the one he calls Abba, but because God is one that riots. Get on it, Damon. Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
We're here. I'm getting over a sore throat, but it's okay. We're rolling with it. And we're going to have fun. By the way, this is the book we're celebrating.
Oh, it's a book.
The God Who Riots, Taking Back the Radical Jesus.
Oh, hold on. I'm putting you on center screen. Oh,
there it is from Broadleaf Books. And this is the night before it comes out. Anyone who's listening to this, it's already out. Go get it. And thank you for being down to have this party with me, Trip.
Well, I do a lot of podcasting, but it's very rare you do a podcast and it's someone you actually like and know, and and you don't have to lie, about saying the book is awesome, because the God Who Riots, high quality material. So some of the people that are all joining the live stream, these are people, like a lot of them are our friends. Also, there's a lot of people that follow your stuff on YouTube. So they're like, who's your friend here that's talking on the internet?
Yeah.
To you. And then some homebrew people are like, how good a friend do you have to be for Trip to get loaded on the day your book releases on the internet? And I'm like, well, obviously one that's down to party, down for a process party. So if you, maybe you should give the explanation of how we ended up here, and then and then we can dig into the book. I just want everyone to know that comes in from different places, especially those listening to the podcast, to get to know a little bit about you and how we got to having ourselves a good old time partying at the release of your book.
Yeah. But let me just say this to start off with. Back when, I grew up in the evangelical church and then felt called to ministry when I was 18 and decided to really study and research this stuff and get ministry training, take Bible college classes, because this is a huge responsibility to be teaching about these big ideas and to be leading people. It's a huge deal. And so as I kept exploring and studying and researching, I found myself outside of the theological boundaries of my particular denomination. But I felt like I was chasing truth, even if people around me called it heresy. And one of those resources I had was actually Tripp's podcast, Homebrewed Christianity. I remember several years ago being in Orange County in this ministry program that I was really struggling in, because I felt like at the time I was trying to stretch my influence and focus, but the purpose of the program was to narrow your influence and focus. So there was a lot of conflict, and I would just be walking around town, not wanting to be around anybody, listening to Homebrewed Christianity in my earphones and being mind blown by all these ideas that weren't being talked about in my church. And even finding some amazing authors through Homebrewed and looking them up and reading them. And it really helped at the beginning, expose me to so many ideas. And so when I wrote this book, that's like the time in my life that I kept thinking of and wanting to get a book to someone who is also exploring and trying to stretch their imagination and see how radical this faith can actually get. And so we ended up, we met for the first time at a hatchery TED Talk thing, and we hung out. Barry Taylor was there. Barry Taylor's also the homie. And then we just kept, and then Tim really connected us. That was like kind of, hey, what's up? But Tim really connected us.
Yeah, Tim Burnett.
You can take over the rest here, right here.
Oh, no. I was just, I was making sure that, not everyone knows which Tim you're talking about. This is Tim Burnett, which if you're a member of Homebrewed, this week we just shared this little test thing Tim and I did that's based on the series that he and I worked on, but then he did at the Way Collective on kind of like introducing Christianity post the shitty versions, which if anyone listening emails me, I'm more than happy to send it to you. But Tim is one of my best friends, and he said to me, there's this guy Damon who's in transition, thinking things through, and I think you corrupted him. And I was like, well, I didn't do it. It was the Holy Ghost. But it's always good to find out when you corrupt people. Are you able to go to sleep, or do you see the fires of hell beneath your feet these days?
Oh, snap. Mm-hmm. What's funny is like, I always wondered that back in the day of like, if I go down this slippery slope, will I get to a point where I'm like just actively denying God or whatever? Because that's what they said I would be doing if I were to follow that path. But it's like, I feel closer to God than ever. And I feel like this is, I've been on one long, consistent path. And that's one of the things I'm hoping to show people with this book too, is that if you grew up in like a conservative church environment and you had a suspicion that Jesus was actually way more radical than what they told you, and then you left that environment and now you're in like radical activist spaces and you feel some sort of connection to that Jesus, I wrote this book to say your suspicions are correct. Jesus is a lot more radical. And it does feel like one long path. No matter how many people say we've gone astray, it's like, no, this Jesus is actually way bigger than those little narrow paths. And so, yeah, it feels great. And there is no hell. And I'm not saying it as a hope. I'm saying it with faith.
Well, maybe you're saying with faith, hope, and love.
Yes, exactly. With faith, hope, and love, all of it.